Salt is amazing. Over 40 million tons of salt is produced in America every year. It comes in profound colors and variations, and it's used for all kinds of different things. But there's some really important things that you need to know that the world teaches us about salt. Salt is distinctive. You know when it's present and when it's gone. If it loses its distinction, it becomes no different than ordinary dirt. Salt promotes thirst. It moves you to want more and more. It's a mandatory need for your body. You can't live without it. Salt permeates. A little bit goes a long, long way. Just a touch of salt can have a profound impact. It can stretch the life of whatever it touches. You see, it's been a long time coming, and a lot of people, truth be told, never imagined that I'd make it to this point. To this place, right here. Even driving down this road through this wilderness, chasing the Great Salt Lake, is unbelievable to me. You see, I've spent this last decade of my life navigating beneath the surface, somehow surviving between the shadow of who I was and who I knew God meant for me to be. And blocking my view was this haze all around me, full of failures and disappointments. I'm sorries and I miss yous. And often feeling like I had nothing to lose and everything to prove, I always hoped that this day would eventually come. And it has. It's here, finally. God didn't forget me. It's just that He wanted my story to reveal more than I ever expected or imagined. If you're like me, your life is full of experiences, and some of them you're thankful for and you're really proud of. But there's others, if you're honest, that you're ashamed of and embarrassed by. But whether good or bad, they're all bound together by millions of moments that can be traced to some sort of decision that you've made. I'll never forget it. That day, it was like the sum of everything that had been happening to me in that season of my life had come to this point of recognition. I just dropped my kids off at school and then suddenly realized that I didn't have enough money for gas to pick them up later that day. And my tank was totally empty. I remember just staring at the gauges and wondering how I even ended up in that moment in the first place. And then all of a sudden this wave of emotion rose up inside of me and I couldn't handle it. So I just covered my face with my hands and pressed myself against the steering wheel and I just cried. I had no other choice but to sit there and wait and cry. I had just lost everything, my marriage, my job, my church, my reputation, my friends. And the great distance between the honor that I experienced before and the disgrace that I was immersed in was way too much for me to bear, and definitely bear alone. It left me feeling totally abandoned and betrayed. I knew I could still trust God. It was people that I just wasn't so sure of anymore. The only thing that I had to hold on to in that moment, and I would later discover in the moments that were yet to come, was this verse that somehow got buried deep inside of me. And it's that one in Matthew 5:13 where Jesus says, "Be the salt of the earth." At the time, I had no idea what it really meant, but I promised God on that day, I'll never forget it, that if I ever got the chance, I'd look in the deeper places, like where I'm walking right now. And I'd find out what He really meant to say, no matter where it took me. And when I did, I'd share it with anyone and everyone who would listen. You see, when Jesus said, "Be the salt of the earth," He had something entirely different in mind than what the world teaches. He was talking about salt as both a refusal and a pursuit. A refusal to accept the way things are because it's not the way they're supposed to be. A pursuit to move beyond the limitations of how the world wants to tell your story, with all of its fears and apprehensions, and reveal how you trust Him in a deeper and a more meaningful way. This salt, the salt that Jesus was talking about from the Dead Sea, just like the salt here in the Great Salt Lake. You see, it was used to prevent decay and the decay of the dying world around us. The kind of salt that Jesus was talking about was the kind that was used to help things grow. And when He says, be the salt of the earth, He didn't mean for it to be found in the act of doing something, not in the destination or in something that can be achieved, but in the being. What Jesus meant and what I discovered here in Salt Lake is that salt is like your character. It's who you are over time and through circumstance, bound together by millions of moments that can be traced to an eternal decision that you've made. And sometimes the story that our circumstances are telling the world isn't as half as endearing as the story of God that lives deep inside of us.